How to create a new project in Xcode. First, go up to the main Xcode menu, File, New Project. For iOS applications, most of the time we want to create a single view application. So make sure that's selected. Click on the Next button. For the project name, name it whatever you would like to. It will create a folder of that name somewhere on your system. I'm going to just say Lab 0. Organization name, this is where you could put your company or yourself. So I'll put my name. The company identifier, usually it's the reverse domain. So we have edu.usc. If you had a company, you would say com. And then your company's domain. The class prefix, in class, a lot of times I will say USC, but this is where you are going to put your initials. So if I was a student, I would put TLG. Those are my initials. I would like to see 3 letters there. The devices, sometimes I will ask you to create an iPad app, sometimes an iPhone or universal. So select which one is appropriate. Say we're going to do a sample that's an iPhone, so I'm going to select iPhone. Click on the Next button. Then it will tell me where am I going to save this. So go to wherever you want to save it on your computer, maybe desktop or maybe under Documents, the ITP 342 class. I have a projects folder. Maybe you have a labs or homework folder. I'm going to save it under projects. You do not need to create a Git repository. Click on the Create button. There you go. You now have a folder. So if I go to my Finder, you'll see that you have a folder on your computer where you told it to select, where you told it to create it. So here we have Lab 0. And then underneath it, it's already created this project file and then this Lab 0 folder with other folders and other files. It's already done this for us. Okay, so here's the start of your project. Click on the storyboard, and then you can start drag and dropping different items onto your storyboard. Give it a minute, come on, oops, there we go. There's our storyboard. So we could immediately start putting something on there, just something as simple as a label. So let's do a label. Over here on the lower right-hand corner, here's our library. I clicked on our object, show the object library. Down here is our search bar at the very bottom. I typed label. Here's a label. I can drag it and put it here on our storyboard. We can change it to say something like hello world. We can also move it around and align it. You can make this bigger if you want to. You see that there's already some lines to help us with that. You can center it, change the font, which is very helpful. So here we can select different fonts. So say you don't want to do system, you want to use custom, and then from the custom you're going to see all the different kinds of fonts that you can use, as well as you could change how big it is as well. One thing to notice in labels is that say you wanted something to span multiple lines. Right now this label spans 1 line. Up here in this is your inspector, and so this option right here, this is our attributes inspector, and so here it says 1. If we wanted more, we can add more than 1 line, and that will make sure that if we made our font like super big and we actually wanted it to go multiple lines, let's see, let's get it to go multiple lines. There we go. Click on it, make it bigger. It will do multiple lines. Now we have a label that says hello world. These blue will not show up when we actually run the app. So now let's run the app. To do this, all we have to do is over here in the top left corner, click on the arrow, which is the build and run. It will build it and run, and it selects whatever it will build it, opening up the iOS simulator depending on what we select here. So we have said that we're going to use the iPhone, the 3.5 inch, which is like the iPhone 4. The iOS Simulator is another separate app, separate from Xcode, but Xcode is launching it. So here we have our iOS Simulator, and there we are going to see Hello World. There's our first app.